Hi, everyone. Today we are talking about downloads. And I am going to start by talking about, let me make my screen bigger. Almost every time I visit a client, or look at anyone's computer, I see, whoops, there we go. This folder, the downloads folder, full of a bunch of random things. And for the most part, people click to open something, it downloads, they forget they downloaded it. So the first thing I want you to do is go to this downloads folder and see how many items you have in there. And then if you've got a lot and you need to see, I'm going to say what I did yesterday. Go ahead, right click. This is if you're on a PC, make a new folder, give it today's date. And as a few days ago, we talked about filing or naming it. Today's the 10th. Download items. And put everything in there. Now, I will say everything I have in there are applications or things where it didn't actually let me choose where I wanted to download it. That's why I didn't even know I had these here. It was an update to a program. So for me, I'm going to just delete everything that's in there because I know I don't need them, because this is not how I download items. And that's the reason I had my Google screen up before. I primarily almost exclusively use Chrome. I like that I can use it on my PC and then I can use it on my Mac and have all the same favorites and settings and everything. So one thing I am going to show you how to do is to change your settings so that you are more aware of where your downloads are going to. So if you go up in this top right-hand corner and go into settings. Now the easiest thing to do is type downloads. I'll keep typing it. Okay. So when I have downloads, most of yours are going to be defaulted to the downloads folder that we just talked about. But you can change this. So if you want them to go somewhere else, you just click change and pick where you want on your computer for those to go. But the key thing I want you to ask is this right below this. It says ask where to save each file before downloading. If you don't have this on, everything's automatically just going in this location. I personally have this turned on so that anytime I go to download something, I'm trying to think of what I could easily download. I can't think of anything right now, but this way it will pop up and say, where do you want to download this? So if what I download a lot of is bank statements or invoices or receipts. Then when you click to download, it's going to ask you where you want to put those items. So, for example, if I am so let's say it is your bank statement and you always hopefully have a consistent place of putting that once you download it. So if it's my business bank statement, It's going to come. I'm going to get it on the first of the month. And I'm going to hit download, and I save it into the folder for Hope Organizing checking account. And then I save it as checking statement and then the date. And as we already know, I do the dates. That'd be, so last month's would have been 2021-05-31 would have been my bank statement. But it asked me that. So then let's say the next thing that pops up is I signed up for someone's email list and they have a free download of 10 ways to paint that old piece of furniture. Just something totally random. Oh, and I want to keep that in household projects. So when I open that, it's going to pop up and say, where do you want to save it? I'm going to move it into my family folder, maybe how-tos, or I also have a folder that's kind of just my read sort folder to go back and think, did I really need to save this? Did I really need to keep this? So I recommend, number one, clear out your downloads folder, because I would say 95% of people download there and then forget about it. And two, think about when you download something, downloading it directly into the appropriate place instead of into the download folder where you might have to move it. Have a great day.